All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Let me know if you guys can hear and see everything okay. Let me tilt my microphone down a little bit. Let me know if everything is working before we get started. And happy Sunday/Monday, everybody. I'm going to scroll back to the top of the chat and say hello to people. Hey, Peyton, Sophie, TJ, Rhonda, Rabarella. Welcome in, Lauren. Hi, Perpetua Motion. Welcome in. I saw that you recently joined Patreon. I was so excited to see you join. Welcome to the live stream. Hi, Dana. Hi, Robin, Emily, Jen, Jocelyn, Leslie. Hello, Guard Tunes and Maritza. Hello, Rhonda. Who else is here today? Hello, Holly. Holly's reading a new book chapter, feeling very productive. I'm so happy to hear that, Holly. Let's see. Scrolling down to the chat. Hi, Favy Kids Show. Hey, Kathy and Divine Well Designs. Good afternoon. Hello, Anya and Antoinette. Welcome, everybody. All right. If you are in the chat, don't forget to change over from top chat to live chat so you're not missing out on any of the conversation today. And I've been loving just looking at the chat conversation about what people are currently using as their planning system. If people are bullet journaling, if you're using a different type of planner or a different type of planning system. And also people talking about what themes they're using and if they typically use my sticker themes or do themes that are slightly different. I just always love hearing about the different, I don't know, just like systems and styles that people use. It's always so fun. So I love when I see conversations like that in the chat. And I also see Holly asking what people are reading at the moment. What books are you currently reading? I'm in between audiobooks right now. So I actually need to figure out my next read. So maybe I'll go based on some of your suggestions. Holly's reading 19 Steps by Millie Bobby Brown. Peyton's using the farmer's market theme for July. I see some people using the Luna's library theme. Sophie asked, what's my favorite genre? I think my favorite book genre is probably sci-fi. If I had to choose, like adventure sci-fi. I also I was gonna say I like post-apocalyptic stuff, but I feel like that generally kind of it's part of sci-fi, you know? So yeah, I would say sci-fi is my favorite genre. I also really like thrillers and horrors. I feel like thrillers for me are more like guilty pleasure reads, but I don't find the books to be as good as like the really good sci-fi series that I've read. I love the Ender's Game series, so that's one that really stands out for me as a really good sci-fi series that I personally love. Okay, so it is a new month. This is the first public live stream of July. If you guys have been following me, if this is not your first live stream of mine, then you maybe saw me designing last month's Frog Tea Party sticker collection. This is this month's Patreon sticker rewards. So if you join my sticker subscription on Patreon, you will be sent this collection. We are currently powering through cutting all of the stickers for the first shipment of these Patreon rewards. We got a bunch of new patrons at the beginning of this month. So thank you to everybody new who joined. So it's a few more stickers to cut, but these will be shipping out by tomorrow. And that includes anybody who joins today. So today is like now the final cutoff for the first shipment. So if you join my $15, $25, or $30 Patreon tier by end of day today, then your stickers will be shipping out tomorrow. If you join any time throughout the rest of the month of July, your stickers will ship out within approximately 1 to 2 weeks from when you join. Holly said, "How many days should I wait for a shipment email um, as the post has nothing in the mail? Should I wait a week more or tomorrow?" Holly, I believe you're talking about an order that's already shipped, correct? Letters to the UK can sometimes vary in how long they take, Holly. So I recommend giving it 3 weeks just to be safe. And typically it will arrive. Sometimes mail just ends up going a little slower or faster, depending, and we did just have a holiday in the US, so I think it would make sense that mail might be running a little bit slower. Jen said, "How is shipping for orders from maybe a week or so ago?" Great question, Jen. So right now I am just a little bit behind on orders. I would say there are maybe 30 orders that are behind from more than 1 week ago. I will have those done within the next couple days. So if you placed an order about a week ago, I would say within like 3 days, Jen, that should ship out and you should see a shipping notification email for that. We've been just like fully focusing on the Patreon rewards. So there are a few orders that are a little bit late, but those will all be caught up within a few days. And if you placed an order a week ago or a little over a week ago, you will definitely get a shipping notification within just a few days. So I think that's it for all the updates in terms of this month's Patreon stickers, um, shop orders. Thank you so much to everybody who was excited about the new lemon sticker release. This was last month's Patreon reward. So now that June is over, it's now available in the shop, the Mediterranean lemon sticker collection. Oh my goodness, why did my face cam just die? That is rude. Very rude indeed. Did it run out of battery or did it just overheat? All right, maybe it'll just turn back on for me. There we go. Holly said, "Is everything plugged in?" I think so. And maybe it just got a little hot or something. But yeah, so the as I was saying, the lemon stickers are now available in the shop as of this weekend. There's also a bundle up in the shop with some matching functional stickers that you can see in here. So those are up in the shop. This month's Patreon rewards are the Frog Tea Party stickers. I do have a public post on Patreon with the full reveal of this collection, as well as kind of a breakdown of what each tier includes. And you can also always join Patreon for free to get all of the updates about new collections. And if you are a patron at the $15, $25, or $30 level, the digital stickers and the printables for this collection will be posted by Tuesday at the latest. I think I'll have it all posted by tomorrow, but I'll give myself an extra day by Tuesday. And the printables are available starting at the $1 tier. So that's it for all of the updates. So these are my last 2 months of sticker collections, the Mediterranean lemon and the Frog Tea Party stickers. And because we are a new month now, we are moving on to a new sticker collection. Hey, Mom, welcome in. So happy to see you. So this month, my patrons, as usual, voted on the new sticker collection that we're going to be creating this month and will be shipping to my patrons at the beginning of August. And my patrons ended up voting for an Otter sticker theme. Antoinette, who is Whiskey and Sarcasm in the chat, was a big proponent of the Otter sticker collection. So I have to thank you, Antoinette, for campaigning for this one because I am so excited about this theme. So we had one Patreon live stream a few days ago for just a couple hours, and we got a good amount of progress done just in that short 2-hour design period. So I created a good amount of sketches of some cute, simple little floating otter characters that are all floating on their back. I already had a vision for the sticker collection to do backgrounds like I've done here with this kind of flowing water look. And we also decided that we're going to have lily pads come in as a motif throughout this collection. So we've got lily pads, we've got the lotus flowers that go along with the lily pads. We have these cute little cartoon otters and these flowing water backgrounds. So I'm going to be streaming for about 3 hours today. And I'm just going to continue working on this first sheet of otter stickers. This first sheet is similar to this one here for the Frog Tea Party collection. This is the sheet that has my biggest scenes on it. I usually will do like 5 horizontal scenes or 5 horizontal stickers. Sometimes I'll switch it up a little bit, switch up the shapes. But I think for this collection, I'm imagining 5 headers similar to this one up here. So we're just going to draw some otters today, get some work done on this new sticker collection, hang out and relax, and spend some of our weekends together. So that is the plan for today. Let me scroll back through the chat a little bit. And before I sink into the art today, see if there's anything else in the chat for me to answer. Dana said, I'm really trying to stop myself from creating spreads too early. Finding my Patreon rewards from last year is making it difficult. You know, Dana, I've seen a lot of people recently just finding ways to basically give themselves more opportunities to set up spreads because similarly, it's like you end up setting things up too early because you just love bullet journaling and setting up spreads and you want to do it. So I know quite a few people who have brought in like a second notebook or a second like binder or something else where they can create almost like bonus spreads or extra spreads, things like memory keeping spreads, like spreads for future projects or future trips, future plans. Um, to kind of combat the desire to set things up without having to like pre-set up your monthly bullet journal spreads, if that makes sense. But I know that you're not alone. I know that there's quite a few people who kind of get annoyed by themselves for setting things up too early. And then by the time you get to that month, you're like already over it. Laura said, I use a Moxie Life planner and I've stickered all my monthlies for the year. I love that. The pre-printed weeks make it hard to hold back sometimes. Jocelyn said, I started using Kayla stickers in my personal journal because I just couldn't help myself. And Karen said, I have a whole nother journal for using K stickers. Laura said, it's insane that planning with case stickers are so versatile in so many planners and notebooks. It makes me very happy that that's the case. I think it's because of how I don't stick to any one format every month. I'm always kind of changing up like the sizes and format of the stickers. That's for the decorative and the functional stickers. So I've noticed that my stickers tend to be pretty versatile for not only different sizes of notebooks, but for different types of pre-setup planners. Like happy planners, passion planners, Erin Condren, Moxie Life, Hobonichi's, all of the above, travelers notebooks. I think I've seen people use my stickers in pretty much every style, size, and method of analog planning there is. And I'm very happy about that. There's lots of sticker brands that it's very nice because they make things perfectly sized for like a specific type of notebook or planner. And while generally I do kind of imagine my stickers being used in A5 notebooks, I don't ever design them with like a super specific layout in mind. And I think it makes them nice and flexible. Nice and flexible. Let's see. Rhonda, you are wondering about your Home Sweet Home stickers, it looks like. You know what, Rhonda? I know you sent me an email, and I'm trying to remember if I ended up sending. I think we were waiting for your Home Sweet Home stickers to arrive, and then I was going to send out maybe a replacement. Or was it that you ordered the digital stickers accidentally? Let me check here, Rhonda. Okay. Rhonda, I'm going to get replacements for that sent out. I do see your email in here, and I think maybe I sent it out, but I'm going to have to check my history. But I'm going to get back to you on that. All right. Because I know we've been having an issue with this Home Sweet Home sticker collection getting to you, Rhonda. I think it was because you ordered it digitally accidentally, but I promise by tomorrow, you will hear back from me via email, and we'll just confirm that I have those stickers shipping out to you. Jen asked, where does everybody go for inspiration for their journals? Great question, Jen. I definitely get a lot of inspiration from Instagram and the Patreon Facebook group. Has definitely been very inspirational to me. There's something about, seeing people use different sticker collections of mine that gives me extra ideas. Since I'm always using my stickers, I just love the Facebook group. All the spreads that my patrons post there are amazing and so creative. You guys get so creative with all the printables and everything. So I love the Patreon Facebook group, but Instagram generally is my hub for inspiration when it comes to bullet journal spreads. And I don't like specifically go to Instagram when I'm going to set up a spread. It's more subconsciously that I'm getting ideas as I casually scroll through Instagram. But I don't really like go to Instagram to find a spread to set up, if that makes sense. And my Patreon Facebook group is accessible even for free patrons. So if you did want to get some ideas and inspiration from the Facebook group, you can join my Patreon for free and then request access into the Facebook group. And there's just some questions when you request access where you just need to tell me what your name in Patreon is so I can just make sure that you're a patron. But if you do want to join my Patreon for free, or paid, whatever level, to join this Facebook group. Here is the Facebook group link. And here is the link to my Patreon, which again, you can join for free. Okay, so how about we get into this next Otter sticker header? This header here, I'm not sure if it's 100% done, but I think it's done enough that I'm ready to move on to the other stickers on the sheet and start building out the rest before I go in with any sort of like last finishing details. If anybody ends up joining the Facebook group right now, I will quickly just accept you while we're here, so I don't have to worry about forgetting. So, for anybody who's joining the Facebook group or joining free Patreon right now to join Facebook, um, throughout this stream, I'll periodically go through and approve people. But I can see right now, Kathy, you're in. Let's see. Jocelyn. Yep, Jocelyn, you're approved. Wanda, you're approved. Okay. And Janan, you're in. Laura, Shima, perfect. And Digital Inspirations Lab. All right. Any other new requests before? Oh, yep. Let's see. Cyril, you're a free patron. Approved. Tanisha. I always like to get this out of the way during the live streams because I tend to not, I don't regularly check the Facebook in what's it called? Requests. So during live streams is always a good time for me to just instantly go in and accept people. Sophie, you are approved. Yay, I'm so excited to see so many people joining this Facebook group. It has been so active recently. And again, lots of very creative spreads being posted over there. Krista, you've been approved. Anyone else? Krista. Rabarella said, "Is it too early to say that this otter theme might be my July 2025 theme? I tend to pick water-based themes for July." It is never too soon, Rabarella. I love that. Karen said she's saving the lemon theme for next July. Koanna Art just joined Patreon. Amazing. It just makes me so happy to see people joining Patreon. It's like my favorite place on the internet. The community over on Patreon is so wonderful. Okay, let's see. Tanisha, I see you requested to join the Facebook group, but I don't think you joined Patreon yet. So if you join Patreon for free, let me know and I can accept you in. But for now, I'm just going to leave you as pending because I don't see you popping up in Patreon. I'll give it one more refresh. All right. So, which otter here should we do next for our next header? I really love these otters that are holding hands. So, I think maybe I want to do them next. Or I could do, maybe I'll do a poll. Let's do a poll here to figure out which otter we're going to do next. Which otter should I draw next? Otters holding hands, otter and its baby, or otter holding a seashell. Or I think I'm going to save these otters for probably my big vertical sticker. So I will leave that out of the poll. But here we go. We've got a poll going up at the top / bottom of the chat window. Which one should we do first? We can do these two otters that are holding hands. We can do the otter with its baby, or we can do the otter that's holding a seashell. Rhonda asked, am I going to do a Zoom call this month? So on Patreon, I'm going to be doing regularly these Zoom call hangouts that we did for the first time last month. It was so much fun. But I am going to be doing my next Zoom hangout on August 3rd, Saturday, August 3rd. I wanted to do one in July, but I'm out of town for 2 weekends this month. So it ended up just being that like the next Saturday, that I'm really available to do one is August 3rd, which is that last Saturday after the end of July. So August 3rd, you can mark your calendars. It'll be on a Saturday. The exact time isn't set yet, but I think it'll probably be around the same time as last month, which was at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So you can mark your calendars now. That is available for free patrons and up as well. It is just a patron Zoom hangout where we all can be on camera and we can all talk to each other. And it was such an amazing time last month. So I'm excited to keep doing those regularly moving forward. Antoinette said that the otters holding hands would be cute as a round header. Ooh, should we do 2 round headers at the bottom of this? Kind of similar in style to this header sheet, but instead it's 2 circles. I would be down. Maybe we need to do another poll. I see though for now, the poll has decided that next up we're going to do the otter with its baby. End poll. Okay, it seems like everybody really likes the idea of the round headers. So I think we'll do that. Once we get down to the bottom, I agree. Like this would be perfect for a round header, and the lily pads would be such a fun way to like highlight and accentuate a round header. And you can kind of imagine like a swirl of water. That's going to be really, really fun. Okay, I'm excited about that. Okay, so let's do the otter with its baby. So I'm going to grab that sketch, cut it out to a new layer, and hide the rest. I'm going to turn the opacity down on that sketch so it's nice and low. And then I'm just going to make sure that this otter is proportional in size to the other otter I already created. Something like that. All right, and then I'm going to move it down here, and I'm going to start by coloring in my otter. So I'm first going to use this base brown color. Let's see. Holly said, I was too into my book. I'll tell you about it when I'm back from dinner. How long is the live? See you soon. Holly, the live today will be about 3 hours long. So we're probably going to be going for about another 2.5 hours. So I'll see you after dinner. All right. So we're doing a nice, cute style for these otters. So I'm using my studio pen brush, which just is a nice, simple, smooth brush. So I'm going to start by going in with the head, kind of mimicking, the style I did for my first otter there, since he's kind of setting the tone. So starting with a head shape, and then I'm giving my otters kind of like tube bodies. They're just a little otter tube. And then this otter is going to have its arms holding its baby right there. So I'm going to wait a little bit before I fully figure that out and put in the tail. Otters have pretty substantial tails, I noticed from the references. They're pretty thick. All right, and then I did the feet a little bit differently in that last otter here. And I think I did the feet on a different layer. Yes. So I'm going to do the same sort of thing. Dark brown for like the leg that's underneath the foot. And then this lighter brown for the little toes. Fatima said, does it get overwhelming to do stickers like this every month? I think I'm so used to it that I would say at this point, no, not too overwhelming. It also just depends on what's going on in a certain month. Like sometimes my month is really busy, and at first, yes, it can feel a little bit overwhelming, but I always am able to get it done, and I've been able to get it done for 6, 7 years at this point. So I feel like at this point, I'm just like confident enough to know that I can get it done. So it's not too bad. I'm always just very excited, if anything, to create my new collection every month. It's fun to keep going with it and just to know that every month I get to create a whole new themed collection of artwork. All right, so I'm starting to go in with the other coloring in my otter here, namely this lighter color that comes in. So I'm doing some on the bottom half of the face. Nick, hello. Nick said, finally, the otters. I've been waiting for this collection for so long. You are not alone, Nick. Antoinette is also, I know, equally excited about finally getting the otters. I am so excited to finally be doing an otter theme. It is about time. It's always fun when we finally get to do a theme that has been wanted very passionately for a long time. And then finally getting to make it come to life is always the best. And I love the like simplified cartoony style I'm going to be doing for this. It's going to be a fun change of pace from the more detailed designs we've been doing the last couple months. Sophie said, OMG, I got cocky and I didn't measure, and now my calendar squares aren't equal. Sophie, I know exactly that feeling where you're so sure of yourself. You're like, I can totally eyeball this. I got this. And it looks right. And then you finally draw the final lines in, and you're like, God damn it. Where did that extra row sneak in there? God. That's the worst. Sometimes, though, I feel like you just have to leave it, you know? It's like if it looked right enough in the beginning, then you just have to hope that you're gonna grow blind to the mistake, and once it's all filled in and there's other things to distract from it, you won't notice. By the way, my beverage today is an Arizona green tea, so dripping on my iPad. So cheers, everybody. All right, we're gonna do little dark centers of the ears. I'm actually going to fix those ears a little bit, make this one a little bit bigger. Here we go. Little ears. Let's do the nose. Kind of have separate layers for all the different components here to make things a little easier to adjust or move around if I need to. I also feel like my brush is a little bit too thick. I'm going to make it just ever so slightly smaller to match the other otter I did above. Let me give this otter a little bit more of a chin with this lighter color. It's always fun drawing new animals in my sticker collections and like figuring out how I'm gonna interpret each animal. There's always so many different ways you can go with it. Okay. Now, before I go in with more shading or anything like that, I think I just want to probably first do the little baby otter and figure out what he's going to look like. Let me also just put in these little shadows on my paws here. And actually, I think I can go ahead and put this darker color down here on the body. Again, just kind of matching the shading I did on that first otter. Nick said, "When was the last time I did artist choice for a monthly collection?" That is such a good question, Nick. I'm like, have I ever? um, okay, I can think of a couple that were a little bit more like free flow. The Mermaid monthly kit is one where I did a color scheme poll, and then based on the colors, I chose to do a mermaid theme. So I would say that counts. The whale collection, I think, was more of an artist choice. I think that was where that it was second place on the theme poll, and I decided not to do the first option. Um, but again, it's not like full artist choice because it was still like something on the poll. Um, the coffee theme is one where it was kind of like artist choice. It had just been on the polls for so many years and got so close to winning so many times that I just decided, screw it. Like, we're just going to do a coffee theme. But yeah, I don't do it too often where I'm just like fully deciding on what theme I want to do without it being something that we've kind of already talked about. Um, yeah, I think the closest I get to is when I do the color scheme polls where I have a series of color schemes we vote between. And then whatever color scheme wins, I use that as the inspiration for what theme I want to do with those colors. And that's really fun. I would love to do that again. I think maybe I did that same thing. I did that for the mermaid collection. And I think there was one other one, like maybe the retro arcade collection. I don't know. There was like one more. Fatima said, "I would love color scheme voting." Color scheme voting is really fun. Hey, Marie, welcome in. All right, let's do the little baby otter. And I'm going to pull up my Pinterest for some references here just because I think when I was looking, the baby otters look pretty much similar to the male adult otters, just a little bit lighter. Oh, Antoinette said carnival. Carnival. That kinda sounds right, Antoinette. Maybe that was one where it was a color scheme poll. 'Cause I do feel like there was another one that I'm forgetting. Oh, look at this little video. It's so cute. Alright, so I'm gonna grab actually this darker color for the body of the baby otter, and I'm gonna do this on a new layer. And I'm just going to first do the shape of the baby otter. And it's basically just going to be kind of similar to the adult otter, just like a little bit less detailed because it's just so little. And I think also their tails are like a little bit more round. Let me look up baby otter. Hello, Ray. Welcome in. Oh my goodness, Ray. I saw your post in the Facebook group and I was just thinking about you and hoping everything was okay with your job. And I know you've been having freaking issues with your job. I don't know. I just hope everything ends up working out, Ray, and you don't have to I just know it's a whole thing. You've been dealing with stuff with your job and also, you know, looking into getting disability. And Ray said, "I don't think it will be, but I have the best support." Good, Ray. Good. I'm really glad to hear that. That makes any trial and tribulation a million times easier. And know that you always have us here to chat with. I know that depending on job situations, you might have to drop down to the free Patreon level, but there still is always the chat, the Facebook group, the public live streams, the free Patreon live streams. I just want you to know that you always have community here, Ray, and that community is accessible no matter what you're able to afford. Um, and that's across the board. I just like to remind everybody that there's always entry points when you're needing support from this community without paying. So it's very important to me because we all love each other. I don't like to have it be too much behind a paywall. That's why I try to do lots of these public streams, and I love um the free Patreon feature for that reason as well. So I'm just going in with some base colors on my baby otter here. I saw somebody say that the baby otters are maybe, a little bit fluffier, and I agree. I'm interested to see um, if I'll end up doing any sort of fluffy texture or if I want to kind of maintain this smooth look I have going on. We will see. I'm going to do arms on a layer that's a little farther up. I'm going to give this otter its little paws, and it's going to have an arm kind of come around this way. Aw, perfect. So cute. I'm so happy we're doing an otter theme. This is just going to be a cuteness overload. I hope you guys enjoyed the new video, by the way, because yesterday was Saturday. As always, that means that there was a new YouTube video that went up, and it was another sticker design edited video since you guys seem to really love last month's lemon sticker Procreate walkthrough. So if you didn't see that, there is that new video up on my channel. And I also posted my July Plan With Me video last weekend if you missed that. Lauren said, speaking of jobs, I had an interview on Friday for a school. In September, when we go back to school, I should hear tomorrow or Tuesday if I got it. Fingers crossed, Lauren. Good luck. I hope it's good news when you hear back. I hope the interview felt like it went good and all that stuff. Marisa said the Frog Tea Party Procreate video was so nice. I'm so glad you liked it, Marisa. Thank you so much. I've just been having so much fun making all the new content every week. All right, let's see. I think those facial features are a little off. Hey, Ruby, thank you. Let me see. Let me go back to the baby otter references here. I'm liking the limited color schemes. You can kind of see that like I'm not trying to bring in too many extra colors, but I might need to. I think what I am going to do here is I'm going to put in a shadow layer on my big otter. So I'm going to do a layer turned onto a clipping mask. I'm going to set that to multiply because I need to create some more tones that are going to kind of separate the baby otter from the larger otter behind it. So I have this other layer. I'm going to use like a color in between these two browns, kind of like a desaturated grayish brown. And I'm going to use this to pop in a shadow here, just so I can start to kind of see the separation, see where I need a little bit more contrast happening. I could do this on this otter as well. A little shadow layer. Some shadow under here. A little shadow on this ear. Just brings in a little bit more definition. All right, I think I need an even smaller brush for some of this. So I'm going to create a smaller version of this brush, go back to my baby otter layer, start to put in some of the details here. Let me go back in with that shadow color actually and put in a little shadow here so we can see this ear. Something like that. Let's give him some whiskers. And then a dark layer underneath. Like that. Okay, Karen said the babies seem to be less smiley in real life, and you like how they almost look mad. I like that idea of like let's maybe play around with a different facial expression for the baby. Maybe a little bit of like a grumpier sleeping baby look, a little stank face. I mean, that's hardly a stank face, but it's just like a little bit less smiley, a little bit more sleeping baby. Okay. Let's go back to some of these references. Although I'm really just kind of doing my own thing with this baby. I'm doing more this style with like the really dark body and the lighter face. Kind of more the route I'm going. Maybe even bring more lightness to the face compared to the adult. Just kind of popping in a little bit of this dark brown around the edges where I need a little bit more definition. All right, and then my otter baby needs a tail and hands and feet. So let's see what we can do about that. Just trying to decide like how long I want the baby's tail to be. I'm thinking something like that. Let's give him some little feet. Okay, let's actually do the feet on a different layer, just like my other otter. Do the feet up on this layer. And I'll start with the bottom of the feet. Three little toes. Adorable. Little black line on this side. Okay. Just trying to do some shading on these arms here. Karen said, instead of sparkles as filler for this collection, we should have lily pads and otter paw prints. Oh my God, I love that idea. I definitely love the idea of bringing paw prints into this. It reminds me of the panda collection, how we had the paw prints come in. But yes, I love that idea. Some paw print filler. All right, I'm going to go in with some more of my shading on this multiply layer. I'm going to change the layer style back to normal just so I can swatch the real color that's there and then change it back to multiply. And then I'm going to use this for under this arm. Also now I can shade where the baby's tail is. And under this arm as well. Let's go back in with that dark color. Put that there. All right, and now I'm going to start going in with this lighter color and starting to use this as a highlight on certain spots. Like here. Be on top of the head. Also go in on this otter and do the same thing. Put in a couple little highlights on the right side. Same thing on the little back feet. All right, let's go back to the baby. See about maybe giving it a little lighter brown belly marking potentially. Although might throw off the contrast. Might be better to keep the baby a little bit lighter. I also want the baby to have like little paws that are just reaching from underneath the mama's paws, kind of like this. Let's see about giving that a little bit definition. I don't think that really looks like hands there. So let's try a different method. I'm going to use the lighter color to create little paws. You're almost doing like the kitty paws kind of thing, like paws like this. And then let's go in with the darker color. Murder mittens, exactly, Antoinette. Okay, I think we're getting a little bit closer, but I need to do these on a new layer so I can adjust them as needed. So let's try again. Right now, this is on a layer that's above the mama's arms, but I'll move it to below. Let's make the little back feet a little smaller, a little farther down. All right, I'm going to just go in with some more shading on the baby now. I feel like he doesn't look totally right, but just going to keep going with some shading and we'll figure him out. That's where I'm like, maybe I need like everything to be darker in here. That might be something that'll help create some contrast between the baby and its mama. And I'm like, okay, now if I fill in all of this with the lighter brown and define everything there a little bit differently, See you later, Zoe. Thanks so much for joining on in today. Always a pleasure to see you. So I'm trying just a different kind of way of coloring the feet versus the body on my little baby otter here. Right, let me try again at the baby otter face. Still feel like we can do better. Oh my god, I agree. This Karen, this image here is so cute. See if we can make him look even more grumpy. I'm trying to decide what kind of shape I want to do here for this little mouth. And also, I'm like, do I want to maybe do open eyes? Mouth just keeps getting more and more crooked. And also, I kind of am feeling maybe moving this whole head down a smidge. I'll worry about that later, actually. Oh, but looking at these references now kind of makes me want to make him smiley again instead of grumpy because I'm seeing all these really cute otter references where they kind of look a little smiley. I'm also like maybe thinking he needs more of a chin. And that's where I feel like this whole head needs to be moved down. I do think that's still the case. I just need to kind of adjust some stuff while I do that. The mouth of the baby is still not quite right. I do acknowledge that. It's still not quite right, but we're getting there. This is just part of the process. Trial and error. Oh, bless you, Luna. By the way, Luna's in this box behind me. Been there this whole time. So cute. What is this line back here? Okay. Let's go back to the otter's face here, figure out what he's gonna look like. Aw, I mean, I'm kind of feeling like a simple smile now. I know I was teasing you with the idea of him being kind of grumpy, but with his eyes open like that, oh man, he's cute. He's a happy baby. Okay, I'm gonna see if there's any other little details I want to add here to define my little otter baby a little bit more. Hey, Halarkin, welcome in. I only recently found your videos. Thanks to the great and almighty algorithm. And thank you for making them. They're really kicking my butt to accept my own style. I'm so happy that the internet gods brought us together. It's always it's something I don't take for granted because it's like the internet is so far and wide. I'm always very grateful when it chooses to place one of my videos in front of a new viewer. So just very happy that you're here and that you found my videos and this live stream, Halarkin, and welcome in. And I love the notion of accepting your own style. I am all about that. And I'm glad that that's resonated with you. Okay. I'm going to have this baby's face kind of come in front of these hands a little bit more. Actually, nope. Nope, I lied. All right. There's still some like just color nuances I need to mess with in here to get everything to really stand out on its own. So I'm going to see about maybe doing a little bit of highlight shading on this otter's hands, although that didn't really look right, so maybe not. Maybe this one? No. Okay, I don't mind that. That's nice. Does the baby need whiskers? Yes, absolutely. Let's give our baby some whiskers. Maybe just 2 for the baby. He hasn't grown all of his whiskers yet. Maybe 2 smaller ones. Oh, that's cute. Seeing about highlighting my baby's feet a little bit to get them to pop. That's nice. You can see just like those little highlights and little shadows, what help to kind of bring everything out, especially when you're working with like a simple limited color scheme like this. I think I also saw somebody say that otters have eyelashes. I'm going to see about maybe giving this mama otter some eyelashes. Like that. See about maybe doing a little highlight on the eyes. Thank you to whoever just placed a sticker order. No, maybe no highlight. I do like the idea of maybe a little light color, almost like as like a little eyebrow shape, as a little detail on my otters. I don't know if I actually like that though. Just feel like the face needs a little extra detail. Maybe a nose bridge. Oh, that's cute. What do you guys think about that? A little nose bridge. TJ asked, how did I learn highlighting and shading? Just by doing it. Just by doing it. Just really from teaching myself how to create digital art. And it's more something naturally, I think you discover as you create art that the way to achieve higher contrast and for things to, like I say, like pop more really comes down to pushing your highlights and shadows. I also definitely learned that from a lot of the content I watch online. Like I watch a lot of art videos on YouTube, and you just notice that those shadows and highlights is what creates that contrast, and contrast definitely motivates a lot of my design decisions. I'm always trying to achieve nice contrast in my illustrations so that everything pops when it ends up getting printed. So that's why, especially as I get to the ending stages of an illustration, is where you'll see me bringing in even more uh, dark shadow tones and light highlighting tones. Just as I finalize the image and push all of those shadows to be a little bit more extreme and push the highlights to be a little bit more extreme. So everything has that extra pop to it. So I'm just going through and refining details here. And as I see things that I'm adding to this otter down here, I'm kind of adding it to this otter up here as well. Putting a little bit of this lighter color down here. Okay. We're getting somewhere here with this little guy. All right, so I'm deciding where I want to go from here. I do feel like I don't really like the tail that's happening here. Let me fix that real quick. I think it's really just the end that I want just like a little bit rounder, maybe. Let me see about maybe also filling in the baby paws with a little bit of this lighter color. Then I see actually some defining on my mama's arm here that's needed. A little bit of a dark outline coming in on the bottom here. Oh, Aubrey said, "Did I miss a release date slash day for the frames? Dying to order." No, Aubrey, I just haven't gotten a chance to list those yet. So with the frog collection, I'm having 3 separate sheets of these gold frames that I'm gonna be listing in the shop. Those will be listed this coming week, probably within the next few days, Aubrey, and I'll be sure to post the Patreon as soon as those are available. Kimberly said, "Did you get my messages?" I do have some messages to respond to, Kimberly. Was it on Patreon or email? I'll just make sure that I have them. Tomorrow is the day that I'm going to make sure to get through all of my messages. But let me just double check here. Let's see. 4 days ago, Kimberly Austin, is that your Patreon name, Kimberly? Okay. Kimberly, yes, I see your email right here, and it looks like Patreon double billed you. Okay. You know what, Kimberly? I can just take care of that for you right now. Let me look you up here. See what's going on. Let's see. So I can see one. Oh, you're so good, Kimberly. No, you're not a pain in the butt at all. So I see one of your profiles here. I'm trying to see if maybe you have a second one, and maybe that's why you ended up getting double booked. Let me see. Or double charged, rather. Oh, okay. I totally see the issue here. So, Kimberly, it looks like you have a second account. You have 2 accounts. So, I'll respond to your email, Kimberly, kind of letting you know, like, what email these accounts are under so you can go in and cancel. It looks like you have a second account, though, and that is also pledged to the $30 tier, so you're gonna wanna figure out how to go in and delete that second account that you set up. Um, but in the meantime, I am just gonna go ahead and refund one of your months here. I'll just refund it from that second account. So your second charge will get a refund. Um, and then we'll figure out how to get your account closed, Kimberly. Yeah, here, Kimberly. And I'll send you a message right now from both accounts. I think maybe what you maybe get an email notification. Um, But I'll send you a Patreon message from the second account, or from both accounts, so you can kind of see maybe what's going on, Kimberly. So I'm gonna send you a Patreon message in one account that says, "This is one of your accounts." So there's a message there, and then I'm gonna send a message from your other account, which is right here. So maybe that'll help you out in the meantime, Kimberly. Okay, so I love how this little baby otter scene is turning out. I feel like it's ready to start placing within a larger header scene. I think also Before I do that, let me see real quick about replacing the baby otter feet a little bit and maybe having them a little bit more like kicked out to the side like that. Cute. All right. All right, so yeah, let's start to figure out another header shape for this little baby otter scene. So I'm thinking, maybe doing this one on the right side of the header. I also kind of want to see about maybe making the baby a little bit bigger. It might be a little bit of a pain in the butt just with the different layers I have happening. But let's see. Let's see if I can grab the baby without too much of an issue. Okay, that's not bad. Let's make the baby a bit bigger like this. And then bring the arms back. Just kind of patch things up a little bit here. Let's fix up the shadow layer. Hello, Tara. Welcome in. Okay, I'm going to replace the baby's feet real quick. Now that I've kind of moved the baby around. Like that. All right, let's do another header shape, doing this kind of flowing water motif. So I'm going to go down here to this layer and maybe first I'll create some more lily pads. So I'm going to go to my lily pad layer and create a few more. Highlight mama's feet. Good idea. Oh, Aubrey suggested maybe also doing some rocks in the water. I like that idea. It's like a darker gray color coming in. After I draw some more lily pads, I'll maybe play around with that. All right, the lily pads are pretty easy, so I'm going to do a few here. We just do kind of generic lily pad shape, circle with a little cutout missing. Then we take this medium green color and going from the center of the lily pad, we do some dark lines coming out from the center. Something like that. All right, now I'm going to grab this lighter color and I'm going to use this to highlight the far right side of each lily pad first. Like that. And then I'm also going to do these lighter lines extending to the outside. Kind of like this. Let me make my brush a little thinner. And I'm just mimicking the same style I already did for these lily pads up top. And by the way, if you enjoy seeing me design this collection and you want to follow along with the process beyond just the public stream today, I do live stream 7 times a month over on my Patreon. If you join the $10 tier, you'll gain access to all of the live streams, but even the $5 tier gets you access to quite a few. But we'll be working on these designs over there throughout this month. So if you are interested in continuing to see the rest of this design process, then Patreon is the place to be. And there is a live stream schedule viewable on Patreon, even if you're just a free patron or a public viewer. If you scroll through Patreon, you can see my live stream schedule, even if you're not a member on Patreon, even if you're not logged into a Patreon account or anything like that. Let's see. It looks like Bailey has a question about an order. Your order shipped on June 12th and you haven't gotten it yet. Is that normal or should I contact you? I am so excited to get them. First of all, Bailey, thank you so much for placing an order. I appreciate the support of my shop so much. Let's see, June 12th. That's now getting to the point, Bailey, where I'm a little bit worried. Usually, orders within the US arrive within 2 weeks, even with mail delays and stuff like that. Typically, 2 weeks is like the safe period of time to wait for US orders. So, seeing as it's been closer to like 3 weeks, even a little bit longer, at this point, Bailey, I would contact me and I can get a replacement sent out for you. So if you just go to my website, Bailey, go to the contact page, fill out a contact form. I'll be responding to all of my emails throughout this coming week, and I can get a replacement sent out. And if you happen to receive the order before I respond to your email, just let me know, and I won't send a replacement. But yeah, once it's been 3 weeks for an order that shipped within the US, it's where we start to enter the period of time where I'd rather just send you a replacement to make sure that your stickers get to you. Emily said, "I think the most I've waited for an order is 3 weeks in the US." Yeah, that lines up. You're so welcome, Bailey. I appreciate you so much. All right, just gonna kind of go in and refine some of these green shapes here. Ooh, that one got a little bit too complicated with all those shapes happening. I think something like that is okay. All right, now I'm going to take this dark green and put a shadow on the far left side of each of these, as well as inside the little slit. Like that. And that's generally how I'm creating my lily pads. So we'll start with 3. Let's also create another flower, maybe a couple more flowers. Give myself a circle to work off. So I'm using this darkest color for the outer leaves. So I'm just creating some simple leaf shapes. And now I'll fill all of those in. Now I'm going to grab this middle color, new layer. Oh, I need to merge some stuff together here. And now same thing, except I'm going to do a new layer of petals and have these petals be in between the previous ones. Like that. And finally, grab my third lightest color. Let's get this lighter tone so I can see these petals a little more. And I'm going to do a third layer of petals the same exact way in between those last ones. Like that. Now I'm going to start going in with some shadows in between my different petal layers. All right, I'm going to start to go in with a little bit more definition around these foreground petals here, using this darker color as kind of like an outline, basically. Now I'm going to grab this yellow color, bring that into the center. You can just see I'm going back and forth between the flower I already created and this new one here. Just going in with a little bit more shading. All right, I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and take that and, merge those two layers together first. And then I'm going to take that flower and place it on one of these. I'll leave it separate for now until I start to actually lay this header out. So let me take all of my components, my lily pads, my flower, and my otters, move them down here while I create my header. So I'll take my base blue color, go to my header layer, and again, just kind of start with a base shape. So start with a main shape, like that. fill that in. And now just start to refine this shape and add some more texture to it. And I am doing these little water drops kind of coming off the side as well. Designer Chameleon said, "Do I have a process for backing up my Procreate layers? I've yet to find anyone who's happy with how their layers are backed up." Yes, which seems to work out pretty well. Like I just save the Procreate file, which I think is the same as when you save it as a Photoshop file pretty much, but um so I every so often go in here and I select my files and I share as a Procreate file. And I save that to my hard drive to like, our big drive that we save everything to. So I save them as the Procreate file, and I've had no issue then bringing those back up with all the layers intact. That's how I do my redesign collections. As I go back into my archive, I find the old collections I want to redesign, and I bring them in, and they still have the layers there. So that always works out for me. Um, just backing up the Procreate files themselves. So And designer Chameleon asked, "Am I doing that individually each time I create something?" I probably back up my Procreate files like once a year. I'm pretty bad about it. I should back it up more. I typically back up everything on my iPad once I start running out of room. I'm admittedly not the best about regularly backing up specifically what's on my iPad, but that's also because I do have all of the digital sticker files saved. Those don't have layers attached, it's just the final illustrations. But because I have those, it doesn't worry me so much. But yeah, I would say maybe once or twice a year is how often I back everything up that's on my iPad, the full Procreate files with the layers included. But you could absolutely get into a workflow of just regularly backing up your files, like, after each collection, after each sheet. I'm just personally not very good at that. So again, you can kind of see how I'm going about creating these, like, watery shapes here, kind of splashy, watery shapes. Just figuring out where I want my little water drops to end up. I see in the chat people talking about really loving the sound of rain. Now that we live in Florida where there's much stronger rain than in the Pacific Northwest, like in Portland, it's always raining, but it's a very light rain. And here, when it rains, it really comes down. So you have a lot of really, in my opinion, nice rain sounds here that I've very much been appreciating every time it rains. Yesterday, it started coming down pretty hard, so Jake and I um, sat out on the balcony and just listened to the rain sounds for a while. It was nice. But yeah, I very much enjoy a good a good rain sound. Renee, yep, I saw it. I noticed it, and this was the shape I was going with. I was like, "Oh, nope, that's looking a little dirty." You know? Sometimes you don't notice you're drawing a wiener shape until it's on the screen, and you're like, "Oh, how did that get there?" I tried to slyly just get rid of it. Alright, I love that you all noticed, but just were low key about it like I was. You're like, "Alright, she caught it. She got rid of it." And if you don't know what we're talking about, you'll just have to back up in the stream a little bit and see the water shape at the end that I very casually erased. Okay. I'm gonna start placing in my otter and my lily pads. Start figuring out where they're gonna go. Trying to figure out exactly where I want this otter placed. Renee asked, have I fully transitioned from paper to digital, or do I still keep a physical sketchbook going? I would say, one, that I don't really look at it as like converting or transitioning from paper to digital. Because in general, I've done a lot more digital art than physical. Um, that being said, I do have a paper sketchbook that I go in and out of. And I do go through stages of creating more physical artwork, especially paintings. I love painting when I get a chance, but I definitely do most of my illustrating digitally, just because of the monthly sticker collections that I create. And then all of my, physical stuff is mostly in my journal, so not as much physical artwork, but more my journal spreads. Oh, Fatima suggested and asked if we can have these headers without the otters as well, and just have versions of these headers that are the water and uh, lily pads. I'm gonna think about that, Fatima. Maybe having that as like a bonus sheet for this collection because I love that idea. And I could also do a printable of the water waves as well. They would pair well with many collections. I know, maybe even just the water, just a whole sheet of these water headers. Maybe even having it be just like a separate sheet in my shop, kind of like with the frames for this collection. I really like that idea. Yes, we'll definitely do that because I have so many good water themes that would pair so well with. So great idea, Fatima. All right, let's grab my flower. All right, I'm going to start putting in some of the texture into my waves. So the first thing I'm going to do is these bigger, lighter blue strokes. Looks like I did one, two, three, four, maybe like four of those. Now I'll go in with these thinner, dark strokes, which I did one, two, three, four, five of those. And then we'll go in with these even lighter skinny lines. Beautiful. Do some highlights on these smaller droplets. Actually, also going to do some shadows on the smaller drops as well. All right, and now I have a shadow layer here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the shadow color. And use this to place some shadows to the left of my otter and lily pads. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm going to nudge the tail a little bit down here. I feel like it's like a little too thick. That's better. I think I'm also going to shorten the baby's tail a little bit. Just cleaning some stuff up here as I make some adjustments to this little baby otter. Let's see. Aubrey said, can you try to highlight the middle of the bottom of their feet to see if we like it? Yes. Let's see here. the middle of the bottom of their feet. Do you mean here or the lower part of their feet? Let's see. Do you mean something kind of like this? Or you could also mean down here. Aha, the lower part. But something about those little toe highlights I feel like kind of works too. I agree, Karen. They pop a little bit more, especially when you're zooming out like this. That's where those little highlights can just almost serve as like line art to just define your shapes a little bit more. Can do this guy's feet as well. Same thing on this guy's feet. All right, I'm going to go back to my lily pad layer and put just a little shadow on one side of my flower petals. Like that. And that is looking pretty cute. Trying to think if I want to add any extra shading or detail to these otters, especially since for the last few months I've been doing these collections that are far more like detailed in their style, like very much like full illustration, full shading. I am needing to kind of set that vision aside for this collection, which is a lot more simple, a lot more limited in the color scheme and in the shading style. Um, Aubrey or Carrie said eyelashes aren't quite even. Left are shorter than right. Let me lengthen those up a little bit. But yeah, so that's where initially I kind of have an instinct or a desire to pump more detail and more shading and more colors into this. But I think that's a little bit more just in comparison to the last months. I don't think that this collection needs a whole lot of extra shading and all of that. Oh, I'm glad you guys like the baby. One thing I could do is, like, I could bring in maybe one lighter color for a final kind of round of highlights. But again, it's kind of where you start to think, like, do you need it? Do I need another layer of highlights? I don't think so. I don't think it really needs it. Okay. So this header is now matching this one. I think before I move on to a third header, I do want to play around with the colors here a little bit, and see if this tone of blue is what I'm wanting to go for this collection. I was thinking I could skew it to be a little bit more on the teal side of things. And then I could have my otters almost be like a little bit more red tinted. Yeah, I think I like that idea of making them a little more red tinted. So let me just figure that out here. Let me cut some things to separate layers and just kind of clean up my canvas here. Just kind of merging things together where I can. Oh, Antoinette said the second header is narrower. Good thinking. I should size check these headers to make sure that everything is the same width. So you could use these headers together. So I'm looking, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little size. So I'm going to mark the top edge of this header, which is right here. And then I'm going to get the lowest edge, which is right around here. Now let's see how that compares to this header. Okay, actually, we're not too far off. If anything, this header actually has a larger skew, but it's that the water in this portion here gets narrower. And I think that's what's making it appear as if the water is a little narrower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of this water and I'm going to see about rotating it a little bit first, like that. Hey, Robin, thank you so much. I'm so happy you've been enjoying the live stream today. Have a good rest of your day at work, and I'm so happy you're able to make it. Have a great day yourself. I'm going to do real quick is copy all. I'm going to paste this on top here. And to make sure that these headers are two sizes that would like match each other, I'm going to take these two headers and place them side by side as if I was using them on a full journal spread and just see how they look next to each other. All right, that looks pretty good. I think what I'll do is I'll just take my liquefy tool and I'm just going to squeeze this top layer a little bit just to kind of match the way that this water squeezes a little closer. So again, I'm just going to take my liquefy tool and just kind of push my water a little bit in the center here. Like that. Welcome back, Holly. Hello. All right, so now that I have my otters pretty much merged together, let me see about making them a little bit more red tinted. I think they'll match the teal a little bit better. Here you can see before, after. I'm using my curve tools for this. So before, after. It's pretty subtle, but it's just bringing in a little bit more of a saturated red tone into these browns, less of a neutral, cool tone vibe. Let me also nudge around my lily pad color in case I want those to be a little more cool toned or a little bit more warm toned. No, I think I pretty much like those where they're at. And let me also mess around with my flower. But I also think I really like that pink pop of color there with the flower. Somebody suggested potentially having some rocks come in, maybe poking out from the water as well. Tuttle said, "Are you going to have little shells and rocks for accents?" Definitely shells. Part of my sketches show some otters holding and maybe trying to crack open some shells. So definitely shells. I'm trying to think about the rock situation. I'm trying to think if I want to. Okay, I think I'm not going to worry about rocks right now. I think if I'm gonna have some rocks, I'll need to kind of build it into the design. So maybe some of the later ones. Okay, so I like how this is looking. Luna, do you want to go out? Come here, Luna. You have to come say hi first. Come here. Come here. Hey, Luna. Before I let you out, can you come say hello? Come here. No, come here. Come here, you. Come here, you. Gotta have Luna say hello. Luna, you kind of look like an otter. You know that? Do you know that you kind of look like an otter? Luna break. She's just hopped out of her box. I'm sure she wants to go poop or something or have a snack. Oh, do you just want me to let you go? But you're also purring. Okay, I'll let you out now. Thank you. Go on. Angry purring. You know it. I love when cats angry purr. Purr in defiance. Thank you, Emily. I appreciate that. All right. So we've got two headers here looking mighty cute. We're just making such quick progress with this collection. It feels almost wrong. Last collection was so detailed. It took so long to finish like one of these little scenes. So it's kind of fun having a simpler collection that's just moving right along. But I also feel like I want to make sure I'm not rushing it, make sure I'm making it the best it can be. So before moving on to another header, and Emily, I love the idea of working on the round header next. Before I do, I'm just going to look at these two headers I've already completed and start to see if there's any details that really bring it home. So first, I'm looking at maybe doing a shadow underneath the water. Courtney said, "Do you get to live out your main character dream in Florida, being able to wear dresses again?" Oh, yes, Courtney, absolutely. I love that way of describing it, living out my main character dream. But yeah, I do love the attire I can wear here in Florida compared to Portland, where I can only wear summer clothes for like 2 months of the year. I've been thriving in my shorts and dresses. Holly said, "Just to tell you, this Otter sticker collection has sent me down a rabbit hole or two, and I'm obsessed. And I also might be adopting an otter so that I can have all the updates. This is the sticker's fault." Holly, I love that this collection is giving you an otter fixation, and I also love that you might adopt an otter. That is so cute. I'm fully happy for this sticker collection to take fault there. That's amazing. And Holly also has some otter fun facts. They can have a favorite rock that they carry around with them to help them float and to have something to cuddle. And they can carry their favorite rocks in their pouches when they travel. And they also carry their babies in their pouches. Oh man, those are some good otter facts. Let me also mess with my otters once again and see if I want to brighten them up at all. Like that. Kind of just punching up the contrast on everything right now. Hello, Talia. Welcome in, Talia or Talea. I'm so glad to have found your channel. I also moved from the Pacific Northwest to Florida last year. I enjoy the large rain rather than the Seattle drizzle. That's such a good way of putting it. The large rain versus like that drizzle rain. I totally agree. I much prefer the big dramatic rain. Like if it's going to rain, at least make it exciting, you know? But I also appreciate in Florida how it can pour rain and then 30 minutes later you can have a sun-filled sky, you know? Definitely in the Pacific Northwest, the gray and the lack of sun, I feel like is really the tough part. But anyways, I'm so happy you found my channel, Talea. Welcome in. So happy you're here in this live stream. And it's really fun to meet somebody with a similar travel journey to me. Somebody doing the move from the Pacific Northwest to Florida. It's really fun to hear other people sharing that experience. So very happy to have you here. Oh my God, Antoinette, these river otters at the Bronx Zoo sound so cute. And you said there was an otter that was really interested in you and it kept following you back and forth in front of the glass. Oh my God, I would die if one of the otters acknowledged me. That's the cutest thing. Okay. I am very tempted, of course, to put sparkles in here. I feel like simple white sparkles would look so cute. Also, thank you to whoever just placed a sticker order from my website. But I could wait till later to do the sparkles, but also I'm like tempted to just kind of complete these headers now. Would you guys be honest with me if I start going overboard with the sparkles? Is there such a thing as needing to chill on the sparkles? Is anybody upset that my sticker collections just keep having sparkles in every single one? Because you guys know, I'm just like kind of, I'm obsessed with them right now. I feel like no collection now is complete without sparkles filling up the empty space. Oh, yeah, that's right. Somebody did say paw prints. I feel like paw prints on these headers wouldn't work quite so well, though, just because of the water backgrounds. But I really love the idea of paw prints being a like small filler sticker that I put in later on in the collection. So I still love the paw print idea, but those will be like some separate stickers. Oh, and then I see we have a suggestion for maybe like water splashes instead, water droplets. I do like that idea, and the bokeh effect as well. I'm glad to see that it sounds like most of you don't think we could, I could overkill the sparkles, but there is always the chance. It's like I see somebody saying there's always too much of a good thing. That's where I'm like, I don't want to kill the sparkles. I don't want to get to a point where people are like, enough with the frickin' sparkles, Kayla. All you draw is sparkles. Luna's trying to break in. Get in here, Luna. Get in here. She's ready to join the group again. Are you ready to join the group again, Luna? Get over here. Oh, and back up to her box she goes. I'm just creating a couple sparkles here, but I'm going to look into maybe I just think I want something that's like a little white pop of detail, but I also do love the idea of maybe just doing some little like water drops instead. Antoinette poses the argument, that you love the sparkles, but you just don't see how they really like fit in with the otters. And I totally see what you're saying. When I do the sparkles, I definitely don't ever think of them as being necessarily like realistic, like having a purpose. It's like purely stylistic versus there being something in the designs that's like actually sparkling. Holly, I love the otter dad joke. Okay, undo, undo, undo. Let me go in with a layer of bokeh lights, which I see some people trying to describe. Bokeh lights, yeah, it's like when lights in the background of photos turn into circles. There's a brush that I use all the time. It's in the luminance section and it's called bokeh lights, but it basically does this lighting effect for you. So here's kind of what that looks like. This is just with some random colors, but it's these glowy, circular, colorful lights. So I very often sprinkle these into the backgrounds of my sticker collections just for like a little ambiance. So let me see. Let me see if those add something to this. Hello, Lisa. Welcome in. Only going to be going for maybe another, 30 minutes? Now, the bokeh lights definitely, they're more of a style thing here with the water background. I might not end up doing these just because it might kind of mess with the water illusion. Right now, these bokeh lights are super bright. I will definitely tone them down a little bit. But sometimes they're nice for just that little extra bit of visual interest. We'll see. I don't think that the bokeh lights are really working with this, but I do have some other luminance brushes that could work. Like there's this light leak brush that does kind of a similar lit up effect, but just kind of like a different shape that might work a little better with our water. So let me try sprinkling that around. Might look a little bit more like light shining on the water. Okay, I think I like that, but I think maybe I want them to be bigger. Let's try that again. It's just is basically creating a little bit of color variation. It's not anything too dramatic. Just kind of making it look like there's some light kind of dappling across the water. See what you guys are saying, where it's like you don't want the lines on the water to disappear. I feel you. I feel you. I do like the luminance effect, but I think I agree that we're kind of losing that cool water texture. So that makes me think maybe I just want to bring some lighter bits in the water following the shapes I've already created. So I'm going to try using this light brush, which kind of does something like this. And I'm going to use that instead to maybe just individually illuminate certain bits of the water. Okay, I think this is going to be the move. Make like certain parts of the water look like they're glowing. And this brush creates some really cool texture too, which I love. Oh, that's so nice. Do you see that like really fun texture it's adding in there? Here's before and after. Yeah, and I think this will then really tie in a little bit of sparkle, having this luminance come in. So I'm going to start sprinkling this effect around a little bit here, just brightening up some bits here and there. I'm going to try not to go too overboard with it. Like that. Just brighten some bits up a little bit, some stripes. There's the before and after. like that. Now let me go back to these two little sparkles I made. I like that idea, Antoinette, deepening the watercolor a little bit now that we've added such a bright tone happening on top. I like that idea. And we could even add some darker strips into the water too. But here's right off the bat, just kind of deepening that water tone. Maybe a little more contrast. Before, after. Carrie said otters are my favorite animal ever. So I was already excited about this, but teal is also my favorite color. And the water texture is so cool. I can't wait. Carrie, I'm so excited to know that you are so excited about the sticker collection, especially knowing that otters are your favorite animal. I mean, it couldn't be more perfect than that. Okay, so something like that. I could even make my bright stripes a little more intense now. All right, let's go back to these sparkles and see about them. I like the idea of there being some sort of accent color. Maybe I'll grab this yellow. Or maybe the pink. The pink. Hello. 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 What? What is it? You need some attention? Come here. Come here, you. Come here. No, you have to stay with me now. You have to stay with me. You have to stay here and purr with me. Let's see if Luna will hang out with me while I keep working on this for a little bit longer. She's purring very hard. Oh, see ya. See ya, lady. What are you doing? Oh Okay, okay. Continuing to get somewhere here. I still like the idea of some sort of sparklage. Maybe like some smaller ones. I don't know. Luna, you want to go out now? Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Those are some loud meows. Oh, goodness. Okay. Come on. Come on. Out you go. Out you go. Oh, Mallory. Mallory said, I love Kay because she makes sure even the parts we can't see look good. I just can't help but get sucked into the details, even when I'm like, is this necessary? Do I need to worry about this one tiny sparkle this much? And it's like, usually the answer is no. Like, I don't need to worry about it. But sometimes I just can't help it and get a little fixated on those little details. But I think that's one of the things that always ends up bringing everything together. Just all that little extra detail. So I'm seeing about doing maybe a tiny little smaller sparkle motif here. It looks like you guys are liking it. So that's good. Kind of a little different than the sparkles we've been doing recently. So let me keep doing that for this header. We're not going to have time today to get to any other headers on this sheet. So we'll start with those during my next Patreon live stream, which is going to be, I have to check my schedule. I think maybe on Tuesday. But during that stream, we'll continue with this collection. So for the rest of today, I'm just going to try to basically get these two headers looking fully finished. And then our next live stream is on, tomorrow. Tomorrow I have a $5 and up patron live stream. So if you want to continue seeing these designs, I do have a live stream tomorrow. And here is a link to my live stream schedule this month. Even if you don't have a Patreon account, you can view this link. But this just shows the rest of the monthly schedule. We'll see how far I end up having this sparkle detail actually extend. Just going step by step right now until I figure that out. So I could have them almost like fully cover this side and then fade out. Even have them kind of go under things. Okay, let's play around with this here. Let's see. Holly said, I chose a new journal. I went with Yop and Tom as the UK website that has the Amanda Rachel notebooks weren't on the site, but will be soon. So you just got a Yop and Tom one for now. Amazing, Holly. I'm so happy that you managed to find your next notebook and make a decision there. Okay. I feel like I might be going a little overboard with the sparkles now, like seeing all of them in there. I think I like them better a little bit more just like a couple little highlight spots of sparkles. But for the sake of this idea, I'm going to fully execute it to see if I end up liking it. I'm not going to get scared off quite yet. But I can kind of anticipate that I think I'll go back to the simpler sparkle style. But for now, let me just see what this would look like, which is the idea of having the sparkles like fully incorporated on one side of the header and then have them fade outwards. So let's see. No, 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 no. I do not like. I do not like that. Let's go back to the last point where I was liking it, which was around here. Because I like that. Again, a little bit. I also think that I see some people suggesting that maybe we just like the smaller sparkles here and not the bigger ones. I think maybe I agree with that as well. So let's try. Now knowing all of that, let's try putting in what maybe we're actually wanting, which is something a little more subtle, focused on the smaller sparkle shapes and those little dots. What, maybe a couple of those stars too, since those were pretty cute. Oh, Karen, I like how you're saying that, where this composition of the sparkles kind of like swirling with the otter. And also now I'm like, I think I do actually like these original ones. A little bit of the bigger sparkles, but again, just I feel like that has a good balance with it. And I see what you're saying, where it's like they're swirling with the otter. Definitely I'm overthinking this whole sparkle thing at this point, but I just want a little sparkle. See, even just like that, like, I think that's really where I'm liking it. Just a little boop. And then I'm going to bring some of those to this otter as well. Just going to copy and paste those same sparkles. You can just reuse those at this point. And similarly, have them kind of clustered near my otter. Luna, you're driving me crazy, girl. Now you want in when you just wanted out. Oh, Luna, oh my goodness. I think I've been streaming for 3 hours, so I think Luna is telling me that I've hit my time limit. Luna, can you give me like 5 more minutes so I can just finish the sparkles? That would be great. That would be great, thanks. Luna's just needy. She's just a needy girl.
Okay, and now's the moment of truth where I turn off these sparkles and I be honest with myself now about if I need these. If I just wasted 30 minutes worrying about sparkles that I feel like I don't need. Luna, you're so annoying. Get out of here. Yes, okay. I like that little bit of sparkle. That's good. We're good there. Scoot these down a little bit. Okay. Well, I guess that's it for today. I'm trying to think if there's any other excuse I can do to keep on going, but I responsibly should get back to finishing up with the Patreon rewards for this month. And if I start going into another header, then I will just get fully carried away. Holly said, I love how Kayla just brushed past Antoinette's comment. I am not brushing past anything, Holly. I don't know what you're talking about. I just love this I really ignited a sparkle conversation. Like we have way too many conversations about sparkles. But I agree with Antoinette that, you know, Antoinette likes sparkles, but they have their time and place and sometimes I just need to chill. Sometimes I just need to chill. But yeah, I think that this is where we're going to end for today. I'm feeling really great about these two otter headers here. Um, Emily said, can we lower the opacity of the sparkles a little bit? Oh, right as I said, I'm going to end. There we go. That's with them lowered a little bit. I honestly might still mess with these sparkles later, but I won't bore you guys with that. I'll do it on my own time. I feel like I need to fine tune them, but you know, as far as you guys know, I won't hyper fixate on the sparkles beyond what we did today. But these two headers are like for the most part done. We've got the majority of the design elements here. We figured out the color scheme. We have our nice simple otter subjects with the lily pads. Again, just very much loving how this collection is turning out. I love the cute simplicity of it with the nice, happy, bright color scheme. And I'm excited to see where we go from here. So, once again, if you guys are wanting to keep up with the sticker designs, go ahead and join Patreon. That's where I do 7 live streams a month designing my new sticker collections. Um, and this collection will be shipping out at the beginning of August to August patrons. If you do join Patreon this month you can qualify to receive the Frog Tea Party stickers. These are my new designs that I just completed, and I am finishing today shipping these out to my current patrons. There are 8 sticker sheets that are part of this collection. So the $30 sticker tier on Patreon, you get every sheet in the collection. And then the $25 and $15 tier also come with stickers at a slightly lower amount. But yeah, this month, all month long, you can qualify for this Frog Tea Party sticker collection. And then August is when this collection will be shipped out.
So, if you are a patron of mine, I will see you tomorrow for our $5 and up Patreon stream where we'll just get right back into these otter designs. And until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you all so much for joining me today. And for any new patrons who have joined the Patreon community, thank you. I'm so excited to have you as a part of the Patreon fam. This just reminding me, too, I'm going to go in real quick and approve any final Patreon Facebook group request that came in. It looks like there's a couple. So there you go. And that's it for today, guys. So I will see you during the next stream. I also do have another public stream coming up this month, not next Sunday, but the Sunday after that. So if you're not a patron, I'll see you then. If you are a patron, I'll see you tomorrow. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. See you later, everybody. Bye bye.